Are you thinking about buying or selling a home, or want to know what might be going on with one of your biggest investments? Then come hang out with us for a little while. Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall, and welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Make sure you check out our free online hack home buying class. Whether you're a first-time buyer or buying your fourth house, you have something to get out of this class. And as mentioned, free class. You can go to TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com, click on classes to register today. Whether that's on TV on the CW23 Saturday mornings at 6:30 or KSTC Saturday mornings at 6, on the radio at AM 950 Sundays at noon, also on YouTube or Facebook by just typing in Twin Cities Real Estate Show, or you can also podcast us anytime, again, by typing in Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Don't forget to check us out online anytime at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There you can find all of our past shows, our weekly market updates, along with the latest and greatest searching and researching tools, and our free publications to include the Smart Home Buyer Guide and the Smart Seller Guide, along with the BRIX Report. All of these free for you. If you have any real estate questions, please feel free to give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Happy to help answer any of your real estate questions or assist with your real estate needs. Thank you for joining us today. As always, any questions, as mentioned, feel free. You can give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Would like to welcome David Theobald. Thanks for coming in again.
So glad to be here.
Yes. And then Ben Greilanger, thank you.
For
as
sure.
always. You're
glad to be
becoming
here.
a regular.
I am, maybe. We'll see.
We're going to have to put you on the regular guest host on the TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com site. Put you on there. Today we're going to be talking about a fun subject. You know, a lot of people know me as a stats geek. I do a lot of the numbers for the company. But there are a lot of stats out there I'd like to call bad stats, stats that are misused or misrepresented. You know, we're going to kind of break those down in the next segment. But you know, it's a really good topic, especially for those who are thinking about getting into the market as a buyer, as a seller, and how news organizations or agents will use these to kind of drive emotional reactions, and how you can see past that when you're able to look into the data a little farther. This is some good information to know, so hopefully you'll stick around for that. But we're going to dive in to some of the recent stats, trends, and news here that has happened in the last week, starting out with new listing inventory, and this is for the week going into Christmas and Christmas week. So we definitely saw a big drop off there as far as listings, which is expected, right?
Yeah, totally.
Not a doom and gloom or anything.
No,
you know, went from 583 down to 284 week over week. This is in comparison to last year's 379. So we're seeing that new listings down by about 25% over the same time last year. What are we seeing as far as pending sales?
Yeah, pending sales have definitely slowed down as well with the holiday season, going from 802 to 561 for this week, and that compared to last year is down about 11%. So not as much of a slowdown compared to new listings, but definitely slowing down seasonally.
And then what are we seeing as far as the impact on inventory?
Yeah, kind of the similar pattern here going down. Last year at this time we were seeing about 6,600 houses on the market, and then the current activity is down at 5,100. So that's been a steady decline, especially over history. We're seeing a pretty good cycle downward. And we were kind of talking earlier that we maybe expect this to bottom out around 4,000 maybe this year. Last year it bottomed out around 5,000. So inventory's been quite down. So it's down.
Yeah, and then which would follow kind of the trends that we're seeing with the about down 25% as to what's coming in. But again, a slowdown this time of year is expected. And that's why we compile the stats that we use at the beginning of the show, is because any of these as an individual stat might not have all the value to it versus actually combining them together. And like for our market meter calculation, that's exactly what I'm doing, is calculating, taking multiple stats, putting them together to give an accurate picture of what the market is truly doing out there. So if we look at like showings per listing, which went up this week, so we're seeing that market, because of inventory dropping, supply and demand, showings per listing average going up from a 3.64 up to a 4.03, thus directly impacting that market meter, which is that velocity of the market, how strong it is. So we saw a pretty big jump there from a 6.42 up to a 6.97. So when we're seeing like a half a number jump in 1 week, this is
significant.
Yeah, that's pretty significant. And we can expect that that's going to continue, probably that increased velocity, as we go through January and into February. We had predicted that the market meter would end kind of December at a 6.9. It ended at 6.97. We're predicting 8.5 ending January. So we're going to be a pretty strong market, and a lot of that has to do with that inventory. So as mentioned, when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be diving in more into some of the stats to maybe keep an eye out for, how to look into them, and then some of our favorite stats to look at. As always, any questions, any real estate needs, give us a call, 651-303-0019. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ruben with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Everyone knows you should have a home inspection before you buy a home, but we've heard of home buyers being encouraged to skip the home inspection in this crazy market to make their purchase offer more attractive. Now they're facing tens of thousands of dollars in unexpected repairs. I'm telling you now, don't skip the home inspection. Here at Structure Tech, we can get your home inspected quickly, and we offer a full line of services. Visit us online at structuretech.com to learn more.
Don't fall for the billboards or the clickbait. There is no such thing as today's rate. Mortgages and mortgage rates are individual to you. Chad Preby and Eric Bloomstrand with Bell Bank Mortgage are here to show you the formula to get your best rate. Once you know this formula, you can mortgage shop with confidence. Find us online at chadpreby.com. That is chadpreby.com. NMLS 1462493, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall with BRIX Real Estate and the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest financial transactions people make. Before you make your next move, download our free Smart Home Buyer or Smart Seller guides to give you the edge in our real estate market. From deal hunting to knowing the right repairs for maximizing value, these free guides have it all. Check them out and more at BRIXTwinCities.com under publications.
Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. As always, any questions for us or help with your real estate needs, feel free, you can give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, that's 651-303-0019. Make me laugh through that. Today, we're going to be talking about real estate stats, but kind of the ones that I like to call bad stats. The stats that presented by themselves might not be all that valuable or misrepresented. Things to kind of keep an eye out for as consumers and as for real estate agents too. Things to avoid utilizing because of the value that they might actually not provide.
Right.
It might distract you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and a panicked buy is never a great buy. If you're moving too fast or too quickly, my first real estate experience was a sort of a panicked buy. And I made a poor decision.
Right.
I mean, you learned a lot from that.
I learned some. But
Well, and I think, especially when you, a stat that gets pushed a lot is that current sale price data to drive buyers coming into the market. We'll talk more about that particular stat. But I'm going to start off with one that I just kind of a passion for hating. And it's because it's just really not used by a lot of people in the best way, which is that price per square foot.
Yeah, well,
Right.
that's a tough one.
It is. It's because where I see it applied most is a seller looking at the price per square foot of neighbors' homes and then extrapolating what their house is worth.
Yeah, I think the biggest things I see about it is the quality of the home, the finishes in the home can really vary it, but then also the inaccuracies sometimes on the MLS of what is the actual true square footage. If there's off by 100 square feet at $200 a square foot, that's $20,000 that could potentially swing a price. So it's like there's a lot of things that have to be very accurate and objective.
Well, yeah, I was just doing an analysis on a home last night, and we were talking about, the overall finished square feet was about 400 or 500 square feet less than some of these other homes, but they had a really big storage room, which wasn't being counted. So when you're looking at that price per finished square foot, well, there's value to that storage space, and that's not being accounted for. And so where I think price per square foot gets misused a lot is looking at it on an individual basis, like looking at a specific home and trying to apply that to then put value to another specific home, right? Or even taking the market average and then applying that to one specific house. That, can price per square foot give you an idea of how the market is moving from year to year, or a location as far as the values? Yeah, it can.
It's an anchor point kind of.
Right, if you have enough data to go off of.
Yeah.
But to come up with a value of a home just based on that. Because, house to house to house, every home is so different. And it doesn't work very
With
well.
one exception, maybe of a townhome or condo, if you're in a direct, you have the exact same C unit that you've seen another C unit sold. Dollars per square foot might be valuable.
As long as the condition's the same.
Yeah,
Correct.
the condition,
Right?
yeah.
That's right.
The view,
So,
a condo.
And so in a new construction situation, absolutely, that can work. But yeah, it's the townhomes where it's the same layout as long as that condition's the same. There's that piece. Another one, and this is one a lot of news organizations will utilize, which is pending sales volume. And they'll talk about where it was either in comparison to the previous month or 3 months or in comparison to the previous year. And this is a stat that really on its own isn't all that valuable unless you're comparing it to other stats. So, like right now, if we look at December's numbers over November's numbers, it's going to drop.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing? No, it's completely predicted that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? And a leading factor is, where's inventory at? Where's new listings at? That's going to kind of tell you where pending sales may be coming in at as well. So is it a surprise that we're even down over last year? No, not really, because the new listings, the inventory is down that much. So supply and demand.
Right.
You can only sell as much as is out there.
Yeah. Like going back to the stats and pulling up those pictures, and you see this natural cycle year over year. And if a news anchor catches you at the top of that cycle heading downward, it might be just a natural seasonal trend.
Right.
But it somehow could evoke this emotional panic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The market's.
Yeah,
market.
look at it. Yeah. It's
Well,
crashing.
right. Pending sales volume dropping is not the market crashing, right?
The seasonal cycle is just a cyclical.
Yes. Well, I know one of the conversations I get into, and we can talk about mix in that old sales data, is looking at as the prices drop off that seasonal bubble, right? So people will say, I'm waiting for the bubble to crash. Well, sorry to say, but 2008 was more than likely a once in a lifetime occurrence, unless you lived through the Great Depression as well and happened to hit both of those. But really, when you look at cycles of real estate values, you really don't see 6 months of declining prices in any other time in history.
Yeah.
Right? Going back even, tech bust and savings and loan and all of that.
Yeah, other recessions.
Right,
Yeah.
other recessions, real estate values didn't do that. But there is a seasonal bubble.
Right.
Right?
Totally.
There is a seasonal bubble that you can take advantage of out there.
It's very predictable.
Right, it is. And this is why we use that market meter. We're going to talk about that in a second. And there are variations there. And that is good information to know and to follow that. But that kind of leads into old sale price data. You had mentioned this one where it can become a sticking point for
Yeah.
people.
Well, it's easy to hang out on that and be like, well, can't I just go back? And like you talked about it this morning and be like, if I would have just bought and hold a couple more properties at that point, I'd have been so much better off. So it's so easy to linger on that past data, which I get caught up in it too. And just
Well, the seller just bought this house bought this house for 2 years ago for $50,000 less.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, where was appreciation? What did they do to the home?
Correct.
And the flip side is like somebody who bought before the recession, they're now just, above water on it. So it's kind of like, oh, I need to make this amount on the sale of a house I way overpaid for back then. But it's like the market is not, living up to that price point because that was a completely different market back then. So yeah, on the low end and the high end, you got to be careful about, that was that moment in time. You got to look at reality though.
Well, and circling that back into, let's even take current sale price data, right? That somebody, they're looking at whatever the sales were that come out. So I just did a video that's on the TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com, which is, getting hung up on the median sale price dropped off in December. Well, those homes are all brought together for the month of December to make that median sale price. They all went under contract 30 to 60 days prior. Mm-hmm. So those sale prices are not from today, right? And again, that goes back to looking at the most recent stats you can find. It's just so important.
Yeah.
And so, getting hung up on that old sale prices, whether it's from a year ago, 2 years ago, the house couldn't have gone up that much in value. Well, you got to look at what are appreciation rates? What were some of the things done to the home? But also getting hung up on, somebody who did buy at the right time, picked up that house in 2009 or 2012. Mm-hmm. And they've seen great appreciation. Like I always say, you can't fault somebody for buying Apple stock in the 80s, right?
Right.
They made a smart buy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and these kind of stats will get people hung up into maybe not making that move, thus delaying it longer, delaying appreciation longer. Yeah. Or the flip side is looking at old data. Look, the market's down right now. It's not a good time to be thinking about getting my home ready. Well, actually, if you look at the market meter, things are trending up, right? Yeah. This is the time you definitely want it. If you wait for that sale price data to come out, it's going to be too late. Mm-hmm. So, as recent as possible, the trends in the marketplace are so important. Let's touch on a couple lending ones real quick. Mm-hmm. So, where interest rates are if they move up, right? Oh my gosh, rates went up this last
quarter
week.
Point. Oh my God.
A quarter point, right?
Yeah.
But how does that compare to where they have been, right? I mean, looking back, we'd say about not getting hung up, but looking at where things are, looking at where trends are, that's still a really good price, as far as historically low.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you see that interest rates have gone up, not even 0.5% pretty much, since they bottomed out almost a year ago, in comparison to 2 years ago, that's a really good data.
Yep. And to take the aggregate too, you just need to talk to somebody who bought a house in the late 70s and say like, well, we're doing pretty good for interest rates.
Yeah, exactly.
Even a 0.25% raise.
Yeah, it's not double digit. Thank you.
Well, and rate versus payment. That's one that you had mentioned, right? That people get so hung up on interest rate, they forget to look at the picture as a whole. We just talked about that with the pending sales and listings in there. Well, interest rate and payment, mortgage insurance, that all should be looked at together too.
Correct. Yeah, it's so important. And somebody was talking about remorse for a refinance they did, and I think they said, well, I think we got a bad deal. And I was like, well, you did it a year and a half ago, and you might be moving now, 2 years later. Your interest rate didn't really matter. And so it's hard because of mortgage rates over 30 years of time. And so a low rate, high closing cost might be better for a long-time investment, but a high rate, high closing cost, lower rate might be better. If you can understand me that way.
Right. No. I thought,
the timing is so important.
If you're able to keep your closing costs lower, some cash out of pocket up front, is more beneficial for somebody who's going to stay in a house short term.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so talking about what is your 3, 5, 10-year plan and planning around that. I've seen numerous times where an interest rate is a quarter or a half a point higher with a payment that's $150, $200 less a month, right? That adds up, especially for a buyer that by the time that mortgage insurance is taken off, they may have moved already.
Yeah.
So making sure that you're really looking at the whole picture, going back to that again, is important. Speed to pre-qualification. This is a little one. Oh, we'll get you pre-approved on your mobile app. Yeah. Thank you, Chad Preby, for passing along that one.
Just click here.
We see it, and he said, hey, this is one to watch out for. Hey, we're going to get you that pre-qualification in 5 minutes. Well, are they verifying in that 5 minutes your income, your assets, credit? Have somebody actually looked at that? Because until that's done, real estate agents, anyone that's worth their salt, is probably not going to accept that approval letter on the listing side. They're going to want to see you approved fully with a local reputable lender, or at least approved fully with the national ones.
Yeah. Fully underwritten is such a big deal that you don't want to dance around and get sucked in on an interest rate gimmick kind of thing for something that's really not going to help your situation.
Right. I mean, you're going to have to provide all that documentation at a certain point in the process, no matter what. They're going to run your credit at a certain point in the process, no matter what. You might as well do that early and make your life easier, because the fast approval is not making your life easier. I can guarantee that. It's going to cause more headaches later on down the line. Talking about a couple that real estate agents like to use to sway sellers. My last 5 sales got all went into multiple offers and sold for 10, 20, 30,000 over list price. Well, I'd be asking some more pointed questions about that, such as, was that the strategy behind what you were doing? I mean, anybody can price a Ferrari for $500 and sell it for more than that, right? Yeah. Did you bargain basement that house to put it into multiple offers? And if so, was that intentional? Right? So that's a good one to question, as well as like closed volume. That's one you see a lot of agents use. They'll be like, oh yeah, I sold 5 million, 10 million, 20 million in properties. I actually rather know the number of transactions they did and if they were the actual agent that did them versus team members. Yeah, because that's going to be their true experience.
Right, definitely. And there's a chance you have a production experience where you can go in and get the most productive agent or the one who's closed the most deal, but you sort of left feeling a little bit misused or kind of like
you didn't get the service.
You feel like a product at the end of it rather than a relational human saying like, I felt great. That person cared about me. They listened to me. They know my kids' names. They know my dog's name. They know what kind of food my dog likes. And they delivered.
And they did a good job.
Right. And so volume is not everything.
Right.
Not a closing. Care and having a great experience overall is a more
customer service, client experience, and doing the job that you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
Right. Versus just being the discount department store of real estate. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back. Again, 651-303-0019 if you have any questions or needs. We'll be right back.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
My name is James Tobson with Country Financial. Anyone can sell you insurance. However, is it going to be the insurance you need? When life pops up with its surprises, you want the right coverage. When it comes time to find or renew your policy, give me a call. I would love to review your existing policy and show you what I can do for you. You can email me at james.tobson@countryfinancial.com or give me a call at 651-365-3408.
Hi, I'm Becca, owner of Greilanger Staging. With today's home buyers beginning their journey exclusively online, the look and feel of your home matters more than ever. Whether it's a simple in-home consultation, a refresh using your current furniture, or a whole home staging, our goal is always the same: showing your home in the best light and helping you achieve the highest sales price possible. To learn more, visit us at greilanger.com or check us out on Instagram at Greilanger.
Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Just real quick, wanted to touch on a couple stats that I really like out there. I mentioned a few in the previous segment, but one of them is like percentage received above in a given neighborhood. So what I mean by that is an agent sells a home, how much as to a price per square foot over the average. So again, you need a few data points there and ask it for a few listings so you can compile that to see what kind of quality they're doing. Are they doing good marketing that thus is getting a higher price? And then, of course, the market meter. That is the proprietary where we're taking 3 data points. It's a calculation to gauge the velocity right now in the marketplace. If you're going to pay attention to any data point, that's a really good one. You can go to TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com anytime to see the most recent Mastermind the Market, where we touch on that. Again, we saw that market meter move up into that pretty stable seller's market range out there. That's going to continue to incline. So it is going to be a good market. So even though that sale price data looks like it's not so great, no, it is a good time to be getting out there as a seller. For buyers, be more cautious. It's going to be more competitive. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or help with your real estate needs. 651-303-0019. We'll be back next week.
People always ask realtors, what is your commission? But what they should be asking is, what is your rate of return? Commissions only vary by a couple of % from agent to agent. However, the price per square foot you get just based on their experience and the quality of marketing they use can vary by 10% or more. At BRIX Real Estate, our agents use the right marketing and have the experience to get you top dollar for your house. See what we can do for you at BRIXTwinCities.com.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.